Hello, namaste, and welcome to Kaya Yoga. Today I'm going to give you a very brief and detailed instruction on how to practice Kapalabhati or breath of fire. I know that a lot of videos have been made on this topic, and I say that some of these videos are even a little bit dangerous because they say stuff like, when you do Kapalabhati you will lose weight, you should do this all the time in order to get slim or to get a tight core or abdominal definition or whatever. But actually it's a bit more complex than that, you know? Yes, Kapalabhati heats up the body. Yes, Kapalabhati is a detoxing practice. It detoxifies the system. But it cannot be done for very long periods of time by beginners, and there are also some severe consequences if you do it with certain conditions. So you should definitely avoid this when you're pregnant, when you're on your period, it's not the best. When you have any kind of ulcers or stomach issues, and if you have heart palpitations or heart issues, it can potentially also aggravate that. So careful, you know, don't just go on YouTube, follow a video and listen to someone say you can lose weight if you do this and then do it, because you might cause yourselves some problems. Now, of course, whenever you practice yoga, the best is to practice it with an experienced teacher who can look at your personal individual condition and can guide you in the best possible way on your journey to learn yoga. Now, Kapalabhati, I practice this almost every day unless I am on my period or, you know, I feel like it's not the right thing to do for that particular day. Why do I do it almost every day, even separate from asana practice or from physical movement? Because I feel that it gives me a lot of energy, it really purifies my system, it cleans the lungs, and it helps me with a daily detox. So I tend to do this either on the early morning in an empty stomach or after I do some sort of movement practice in the end for about 90 to 120 pumpings, which is 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes. When you are a beginner, you can start with this for only 20 pumpings or even 10 if you can't fully get it, and then you slowly, gradually start building up to a more consistent and longer practice. Eventually, when you get more advanced in this practice, you can do this for 3, 4, 5 minutes at a time, and it will not at all bother you. But beginning yoga practitioners can get really overstimulated in their nervous system, so it's really not recommended to start doing this in an advanced way for long periods of time. Next up, I would like you to consider that yoga is meant to calm your nervous system. Yoga is meant to make you more calm and at ease. It's not meant to aggravate you. So there is no point in doing things really fast or with a lot of force or aggression. The point is for you to really always come back to center, come back to yourself, and even Kapalabhati, even though it's an energizing practice, it still has the power to calm you and center you. Okay, so what are we going to do in order to learn this practice? We're going to activate this point, which is about 2, maybe 3 fingers below your navel. It's hara, or the center. And when you exhale or cough, in this case, I love the coughing analogy because it really shows you what's supposed to happen in Kapalabhati. So when I cough, I feel this point firmly contracting back. And that's exactly what I want when I do Kapalabhati. So when I practice, I basically cough through my nose, right? So I close the mouth and then I start exhaling a little forceful through the nose while pulling this point in and back. Now, I always want to make sure that I drop the chin a little bit, because if I keep sitting straight up, I might get a little bit dizzy. And I also want to make sure that I stabilize the rest of my body. So I don't want to be jumping up and down in the hips, and I don't want to jump up and down in my shoulders, but I really want to isolate the movement here below in the lower belly, and that tends to be very challenging for people. So until we really get that isolation, that strength, that compactness in the lower belly, there is no point in doing this for 3 or 5 minutes. We got to get to 10, 20 pumpings first in order to be able to move on, right? So let's do it together. Let's take a long, deep, big inhalation. Exhale, activate this point below your navel. And let's start with 10 pumpings. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale again. And even when you do this for 10 pumpings, you will already feel oxygen, your body will become more oxygenated, you will feel more energetic, you will feel more alive, you will feel more focused, you will feel more awake, even by just doing this 10 times. I also want you to remember that when you finish your last forceful exhalation, I want you to fully exhale at least once. Very important to fully exhale. Why? Because we're so used to inhaling, and actually exhaling has become like secondary for a lot of people. But in yoga we learn to reverse this again, so we learn to exhale deeply and from there to be able to take the inhalation, right? So let's do this one more time. Let's take a long deep big inhalation together. Exhale, activate this point. And let's start again. And exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And then you can slowly start building up to 20 pumpings, 30 pumpings, 1 minute, and from there you take it further. Always be mindful, observe yourself, observe the effects in your own body as to what's happening, and don't just believe anything you hear. Yes, Kapalabhati can help you to become more fit, it can help you to tighten your core, it can help you to purify your system, but of course it's not the only thing that we should be doing. Yoga is a whole lifestyle, and we need to eat well, we need to practice, we need to go to the gym, we need to walk outside, we need to get sunlight, we need to have good relationships. I mean, there's so many aspects to this lifestyle that do not involve doing Kapalabhati for 7 minutes at a time in order to lose weight, right? Anyway, have a wonderful day and drop any questions below. Make sure you subscribe, and if you're really interested to learn more yoga, please make sure to have a look at my 200-hour online therapeutic yoga teacher training, where we break down every single yoga practice in the book from a foundational perspective. Namaste.